Hello, Missouri.
Hello, Oregon. How are you today? All of you. Not just Josh from Oregon. I want to know how all of Oregon is doing.
Well, on behalf of all great Oregonians everywhere, we are fantastic. You know what? We're so fantastic. We're better than you are.
Well, that's because you said all the great Oregonians. Both of them are great, but what about everybody else in Oregon?
Man, throwing shade right here on a Christmas episode. Man.
Oh, man. But you, Josh, how are you doing?
I am great. Today was a very special day in the life of a good friend of ours. So long story short, my daughter has been babysitting / nannying for a gal that we know from church for years now. And all through my daughter's high school years, she got to have a front row seat to nannying and babysitting for this gal as she did foster care. And over time, she has taken care of 15 different foster kids. And today, she adopted her 2 little girls. And it's just been such a sweet thing. And so we got to go to the adoption, I don't know, not quite ceremony. It was the official judge signing off and declaring these 2 girls are legally yours forever and always.
Congratulations to them. That's amazing.
It really is. It was awesome. And to see all the other people come and support her, and just, there were so many people in that room. We were packed into this tight little judge's chambers. It was great. It was great. So I'm feeling great.
That's amazing. What a great day.
Exactly. So beat that, Missouri.
Oh man, I'm doing good, but I don't know if it's for as fancy a reason as that. I'm just doing good because we record on Mondays, and every Monday I teach in the evening, and so I make something in the crock pot for dinner. And so today it was a potato and sausage soup, and it was so good. And so I'm just happy because sausage and potato soup is awesome. That's why I'm happy.
All right. I think I win. But your soup still sounds good.
Only by a hair. It was a really good soup.
Not now that there's a hair in it.
Well, that's true. No, you have a hair. I don't have a hair. Your thing has a hair.
Suspicious.
That's why it wins. Mine does not have hair. It would have been apparently better if it did have hair. I don't know. That is not what I called to talk about. So I'm not prepared for this topic.
Okay. All right. All right. What would you like to talk about instead?
Okay. I hope you're ready for this. But
I thought I was.
We have a running Christmas problem that we have mentioned 3 Christmases in a row, and I want to apply science to solve a giant Christmas problem that we have.
Okay. All right.
All right. We have both mentioned, this is our 3rd Christmas season doing this podcast, and we have both mentioned every single year that we do not like Christmas music.
Yes.
And
that is so true.
Yes, I do. I am not a Christmas person. I'm not a Christmas song person. And so that's why science is coming to our rescue today. I found online an official quiz that will match our personalities to a Christmas song that will actually be the right pick for us. So we are going to I want to take this Christmas song quiz with you and have it tell us a Christmas song we will actually like.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, I think my daughter has done a lot of these types of quizzes with me in the past, like what Disney character are you, or all these types of different things. And I have such a hard time answering these things. So maybe with your help, I might actually know how to answer these.
Okay, we didn't talk about this, but we could take the quiz for each other.
Oh, no, I think maybe we'll take it by consensus.
Okay. All right. So I've sent you the quiz. All you have to do is open it up. One of us can read the question, and then we both tell our answers as we enter them.
Okay. All right. I have got my email open. I am clicking the link. It says, what classic Christmas song matches your personality? I'm going to go out on a limb and say none, but we will find out officially and scientifically.
Yes, scientifically. I am sure that great amounts of research were done in the preparing of this quiz.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. So are you ready?
I am ready.
All right. Question number 1. What's your all-time favorite Christmas movie? And you have to pick one of the following answers. Love Actually, Elf, A Christmas Carol, The Grinch. I guess it's any version of The Grinch. The Polar Express, The Santa Claus.
Okay. So I was a little dubious about this quiz, but they actually put my all-time Christmas movie on here, which is awesome. And it is The Santa Claus. And I have a hard time passing up Elf. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for that. Elf is like so close to number 1. It's like 1A, but The Santa Claus for me is just classic and I absolutely love it.
Oh man. So my problem is there are 3 on here that I actually like, which is shocking to me. I love The Santa Claus. It is one of the most wonderful movies ever made. Elf is incredible, but I have seen some version of A Christmas Carol every single year, multiple times, but normally not in movie form.
True.
So I think I get to pick Elf.
I love that you're wondering if you're breaking your own rules like right now. I think I get to. I mean, how rule bound do you have to be to make sure that you're not breaking a rule in clicking a ridiculous quiz online?
Hey, when my book comes out in the spring, Living as a Legalist, you'll find out. It's going to be great.
And it must come out in the spring. Otherwise you have failed.
No, absolutely failed. But all right, I'm picking Elf.
Okay. All right. Question number 2. Maybe we should have previewed this. Which word best describes your love life? So we have the choices of hot, ouch, crazy, casual, sweet, or fine.
Let's just skip this one. You can answer however you want, but we'll just move on to the next question.
Okay, continuing on.
All right, question number 3. What's the best thing about Christmas? Is it mulled wine? Traveling to see my loved ones? Quality time? Mistletoe? Sleigh rides? Or presents?
Yeah, presents has that exclamation point there.
Yes. Presents.
Okay, so mulled wine is tasty. I don't have it very often, so I wouldn't say that's the best. Honestly, quality time is my favorite thing in the world, but I actually feel like oftentimes Christmas is so busy, I don't actually get the quality time that I crave. So if I could orchestrate my Christmas better, that would absolutely be my answer. And so I think it's still going to probably be my answer. But right now, honestly, I feel frustrated some Christmases that I don't get good quality time with the people that I love. So, I don't know, maybe presents would be the next best thing on this list. But what about you?
Last year or the year before, in the city where we live, they had a giant Christmas celebration downtown that they do every single year. And our family went and they had like hot chocolate and singing and the lighting of the tree and all those things. But they had some kind of it wasn't really a sleigh ride, but it was almost a sleigh ride. And it is probably one of my favorite family memories that we have had in the last, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 years of my whole
Really?
family in this kind of killing moment where we're all like, and because you had to wait in line to go on the little sleigh ride for like 45 minutes.
Hmm.
Like it was, and so we were like, two of us would stay in line and two of us would go look at something else that you could do. And then those two would come back and then the other two would go. And so we had a really good time. So I am going to answer sleigh rides.
Wow. All right. I'm going to go with quality time, and I just hope that I get it this year.
Good luck.
All right. Next one is, who's your favorite reindeer? Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, Rudolph. Um, I've never been asked this question. I don't have a favorite reindeer. I guess because I love the Santa Claus, and because Comet has quite the attitude, and even I think farts in Santa Claus's face, and just has that kind of an attitude. I'm like, you know what? I think Comet. Comet is now my favorite.
You have an official favorite.
I do now. Today I learned.
I am going to vote for Donner solely because I know nothing about him. I feel like, you know how like when you're like reading the lists of the apostles,
Yeah.
there are like 6 or 8 of them that there are stories about. And then there are the other ones that just kind of all get mishmashed together.
Yeah. Like Bartholomew.
Right. Like we don't know anything about Bartholomew. But you know what? I'm sure he was a pretty solid guy. And I'm voting for Donner just as a vote for the people in the background who do important stuff. You don't have a sleigh without Donner, even if nobody knows anything about him. So there. Donner, I voted for you.
So I think you're going to break the quiz, because I think the quiz is going to be like, nobody chooses Donner. Like, what? I don't even know what to answer now. Like, your Christmas song is nothing. You have no Christmas song.
Well, that might be accurate then.
Okay. We'll see.
All right. Oh, this is a pictorial one. Are you ready?
Yeah. Again, we're doing this on a podcast. This is great preparation, everybody. All right, go ahead.
Which sweet Christmas critter do you like more? And there is a picture of a somewhat woebegone looking dog with a Santa hat on it, and a little cat that looks like it is about to destroy the Christmas tree.
Well, it has big eyes. It's more of a kitten, and it's got big eyes, and it's looking directly into the camera, either sweetly, like it's ready to snuggle with you, or with some intensity, like it's
malice
about to bat
aforethought.
Oh, yes. Malice aforethought. It's going to bat at your face, is I think what's happening next. The dog looks like somebody ate his birthday cake. I mean,
that dog is so sad. I don't understand why we picked a sad dog.
I don't know either. I have to go with the kitten. The kitten at least has some life to it. I think that's the sweet Christmas critter I like more.
I'm picking the kitten as well, mostly because kittens don't bark.
That's the most redeeming quality of a kitten. It doesn't bark.
Yes.
That's great. Okay. Well, we now have yet another visual. This has 4 different Christmas sweaters on it. And it says, you've just been invited to an ugly Christmas sweater party, and there's going to be a contest. Which of these prize winners would you wear? And so there's one white sweater with blue lettering. It just says, Happy Hanukkah, and it has a bunch of cat pictures on it. There's a guy skiing. I don't understand what's happening with this.
I don't know. It's a skier.
Yeah, there's a dude skiing, and there's like various poses of him skiing. So there's another one that says Festivus for the rest of us. It's red and white, very festive color. And then there's a green one with a pug on it, and it says Bah Hum Pug. on it. I have to go with Festivus for the rest of us because that is a great line from our childhood. So I just have to go with that.
100%. I have seen every episode of Seinfeld at least 3 times. Every single episode. So,
Yes.
yep, the Seinfeld reference wins hands down.
Okay. Oh, good. Not a visual one.
Yeah. This one says Santa Claus is coming to town. What will you be asking him for this year? A new car? Fame and fortune? A hot date? Snow? A cure for the common hangover? Or a romantic getaway?
Oh, man. I was all about answering a new car. So our lives are we spend in the car all the time. I work 44 miles away from my house. So just a day's commute for me is 88 miles if I don't make any stops. And so on down the list it goes. We all have activities very far away from our house. And so we're always in the car and we're always putting mileage on our car. So that means tires are wearing out, tires are going flat. We need new alternators. We need new transmissions. We need new headlights. We need new everything. We're constantly doing work on our cars. And it is so painful that sometimes I just want to do the financially irresponsible thing and buy a brand new car off the lot and just at least for 12 straight months not have a single car problem. So a new car was like right up there when it said this. And then the very last one was a romantic getaway. And I feel like if I chose a new car over a romantic getaway, I'd have to go back and change my answer to the love life question. So, yeah, I have to go with a romantic getaway.
It's hilarious. I mean, I am between the two that you picked. And I am going with a romantic getaway as well.
Okay.
I would love a couple of days away with just me and my wife. Romantic. That would be awesome. Let's do that. Not me and you, me and her.
Oh gosh, no. Yeah, that's why we're on the phone with Josh. So we keep
Yes.
we keep quite a distance. Thank you.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Next one is, what Christmas tradition do you look forward to every year? Decorating the tree, stuffing the stockings, baking cookies, listening to Christmas music 24/7. I know which one we're not picking.
No kidding, huh? The reason we're taking this quiz.
Okay, so this is interesting because I don't love decorating the tree. I love watching my kids decorate the tree, but I don't like being a part of doing the thing. Stuffing the stockings is fun, but we've actually got a new tradition in our family. Started when our youngest finally didn't believe in Santa anymore. And now the kids stuff each other's stockings. And watching them watch each other open the stockings that they prepared for them is so much fun. They delight in blessing their siblings with their stockings, and they know each other just so well that it is probably the most fun you can have on Christmas to watch them watch their siblings open the gifts that they prepared for them. But that's not what this says. This says stuffing the stockings. So I have to pass on that. And that leaves baking cookies. And that's as close as we get to doing the gingerbread party. So for, I don't know, 19 years now, 18 years now, we have had a gingerbread house making party in our house. And we bake and bake and bake. We make all of the gingerbread house pieces. And so baking cookies is the closest we get to my actual answer. So I'm going to choose that.
Nice. You know, it's funny. I generally think of myself as somebody who could take or leave decorating the tree. But when I have it in a list like this, I'm like, no, I really enjoy those moments. Like, it's fun. I don't care to be the person putting everything on the tree, but like handing out ornaments and like it being a whole family thing, and there's kind of a little bit of chaos going on as we're trying to put everything together. I actually am realizing as I'm thinking about this that I really enjoy that. So I'm taking decorating the tree.
All right. Today you learned.
Yeah, I'm fascinated that I'm actually learning something about myself from an internet quiz.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Oh, look, another visual. Yeah, have
yes.
fun.
Okay, well, it says pick your favorite Christmas decoration, and there are colorful lights, a candle or a set of candles, a very natural looking pine cone and cranberry looking thingamabob.
I think that they call
And
that a wreath.
is that a wreath? Is that what that is?
I think so. I
That's
think
a
it's just
weird angle at a wreath. But
I,
okay. So a pine cone and cranberry wreath and the stockings from the previous question.
yeah, but
So
these are the
lights.
tiniest stockings I
Yes,
have
there are
ever
teeny,
seen.
like, you each get one AAA battery. That's what these are going to work. Like, I'm not sure an entire package of AAA batteries would fit in those
No,
stockings.
I actually think you're right. Oh my gosh. I mean, these are like little infant socks.
Yes.
Oh, that's okay. That's so funny. All right. What do you like, sir?
You know, I love candles.
Mm,
100% love candles. I love the atmosphere that candles set. I like the smell of candles. There is something serene and peaceful about a candle, and I love it. So,
yes.
candles all the way.
Oh my gosh. Me too, for all the same reasons. But I have to say, it's funny that this comes up now because I stopped at the grocery store to pick up like a little personal salad today for lunch. And I just, perused the Christmas section. And after our conversation last week, where I talked about how department stores just smell so darn good, and I'm like, and so I
Mm-hmm.
get the scent of cinnamon when I first walk in, and I'm like, oh yeah, we just talked about this. This smells so darn good, and I want my house to smell this good.
Mm.
And so I actually was in the Christmas section, and I'm smelling some of the candles, and one of them smells very similar to what I experience when I walk into a department store, and I'm like, I have to get them. So I bought two like Christmassy smelling candles. And so, yes, I agree with you. Candles all the way.
I have to say, I thought you were going to tell me that you found a candle that was actually called Department Store Scent. I was very curious. I really thought for a lot of the story that's where we were going, and I'm mildly disappointed, but it's okay.
I don't think like I get it at the holidays. At the holidays, you can market that maybe, but I don't know that on a regular basis that's what you want to like try to put out there in the world. Like, yeah, here.
Oh, I agree. It just didn't. That's why I was curious where we were going. Just the whole thing was very interesting to me. But
All right. Well, this next
you're up.
one, yeah, this next one has a picture of a snowman up top, and it says, "Do you want to build a snowman?" And everybody is singing the little song in their head right now. You're welcome.
Yeah, we are.
And the answers are yes, please, with an exclamation point. Nah, that's okay. And go away, Anna. So, okay, we weren't the only ones to think of our little Frozen movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm for building a snowman. The problem is we don't often have enough snow in my part of the country to build a snowman with. And so it's usually an exercise in futility. So I actually pass this up more often than not because I'm like, no, it's not the right type of snow, or no, we don't have enough of it, or no, it's already all muddy, or, all of these things. But under the right conditions, like with the right kind of snow, enough of it, and it's still good snow, and the dogs haven't visited it, we don't have a bunch of traffic going by, whatever else. Yes, I would like to build a snowman.
That's hilarious. Okay, so I am going to go with nah, that's okay, with a very similar caveat. I grew up
Okay.
someplace and raised my children when they were young, someplace where we got lots of snow. As a matter of fact, I think the record snowfall in my children's lives was over 100 inches one year. So I mean, it was like we've had plenty of snow and plenty of snowman building opportunities. And so I'm like, no, it's just not worth it. But we've lived in a place the last couple of years that you can't build snowmen. And so if it actually snowed the right kind of snow here in Missouri, I would totally want to build a snowman because I haven't done it in a long time, even though I think of it as the sort of thing that I'm like, nah, I don't really want to do that. So I would because of the novelty, but generally speaking, I'm going with nah, that's okay. I'm all set.
I Speaking of not knowing where the story was going to go, you like telegraphed where the story was going to go, and by the end of it, I actually didn't know if you were going to stick with your original answer. So,
oh yeah, no,
I thought you would talk. Okay,
no, I'm all set. I do not like being wet and gross.
okay,
All right, you ready for the next one?
all right. Bring it up. I wonder how many questions we have.
I think it's like 15. So we're getting close to the end here.
Okay, this is question number 11. All right,
All right.
proceed.
It's a cold winter night and you need to be warmed up. Which hot chocolate looks the tastiest right now? Is it the one with whipped cream and candy canes? Is it the one with what is in that second one? It's a picture thing again. And I have no idea what's in that second one.
Yeah, at first I thought it was marshmallows, but that's in another picture. So now I'm
Correct.
thinking that's maybe like a frosted gingerbread cookie that's been dropped in there.
Oh, yes, I think you're right. All right. So the first one has candy canes. The second one has a frosted gingerbread cookie. The third one has marshmallows. And the fourth one has a bunch of different things, but has cinnamon. I think that is the key detail on that one.
Yeah, I think so too. I can't make out what the rest of that is.
But it's very frou-frou-y with cinnamon.
Yes.
And I'm going with the frou-frou-y one with cinnamon, actually. Cinnamon is wonderful in hot chocolate. I love the flavor of that. And I like really frou-frou-y things that has all sorts like this. It looks like there's a million things in it. And that's perfect.
All right. I think that's fair. You probably have like better taste than I do here, but I have to say, if it's a cold winter night and I need to warm up, I am not taking the time to make a little frou-frou drink with the fancy saucer and the cinnamon sticks next to it. And it's very like, it's a very neat presentation. This is what you would get at like a really nice desserty restaurant. But no, if it's a cold winter night, I need to warm up. I'm going straight for like the hot chocolate I can make super fast. I'm going to spray some whipped cream in it, dunk a couple candy canes in there and call it a night. So I have to go with that one.
That makes sense. Can I just throw out an honorable mention here?
Okay.
I just have to pause and say that of all the places, Panera's hot chocolate is so good. And everybody needs to have some. Oh, it's so good. It is shockingly good. Next time you're at Panera, and we're not paid to say this, next time you're at Panera, have the hot chocolate. It's super good. All right, on to the next question.
And Panera, you have won an opportunity to sponsor an episode with anyway.
All right, next question. You're up.
All right. What classic holiday book do you like to read on Christmas Eve? Did they put the Bible on here?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Back to the pagan quiz. A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. The Polar Express by Chris Van Allsburg. The Elf on the Shelf by Carol V. some last name. Eloise at Christmas Time. Is that right?
I think so. I've never heard of it, but it sounds good.
By Kay Thompson. I can say her last name. And 'Twas the Night Before Christmas by Clement Clark Moore. Well, I don't read any of these on Christmas Eve, if I'm being honest. But, in honor of my wife, who has a degree in early elementary education and loves good children's literature and good illustrators. She absolutely adores the artwork from the Polar Express. And so I have to go with the Polar Express just because of her.
That totally makes sense. You know, I see A Christmas Carol live every year, never on Christmas Eve, so I can't go with that one. There's something about the ambiance created by reading "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" on Christmas Eve. I'm not saying we do this, but if I were given this list of things, first of all, A Christmas Carol is the longest on the list, so I'm not sure anybody wants to read a 70-page, little 90-page, whatever it is. That's a bit long. But
Right.
"'Twas the Night Before Christmas" has some great ambiance for reading it. I would absolutely like that to be part of my Christmas Eve experience. That would be lovely.
Okay.
All right. Next question. How will you spend your holidays? And the options are: with someone special, doing charity work, on Tinder, #foreveralone, waiting up for Santa, getting cozy by the fire, having a big party.
Well, I feel like on so many of these questions, we have to avoid certain answers. And I think on this one, we have to avoid the Tinder one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably. Probably not a thing that, since both of our wives listen to this podcast.
Yeah. So there might be like a waiting up for Santa. We don't really quite do that. Like I said, all of our kids are old enough that they don't believe in Santa, but there is kind of the who's going to be the last one to go to bed and leave out an unwrapped gift for somebody. So that's a thing. But getting cozy by the fire is kind of our thing. We love having our wood stove. And yes, on a cold winter night or day or whatever, we just love having the fire. So we'll definitely be doing that.
That totally makes sense. I think so. We travel every year for Christmas. We always have to see our families. So I think I'm going to have to say with someone special, but it's really someone's plural. I mean, they must be pretty special since we spend lots of money to fly out and see them and devote an entire week to spend time with them. They must be pretty special. So I'm going with someone special.
And now I'm realizing that you selected Elf earlier on, and now none of this is feeling right.
Why?
He gives a gift to his dad where it says, the tag says for someone special.
For someone special. Yep.
It's definitely not something you would give your dad.
Nope.
Anyway.
Ooh,
okay.
This
the last. Yeah.
This is going to be a tough one.
It is. The last question. How would you rate this quiz? 3 options. I loved it! ! It was pretty okay. Or not great! ... Well, it's an online internet quiz. Like we can't, it's never going to be, oh, I loved it. I think we made a pretty killer podcast episode out of it. So that's cool. So maybe from that, it gets it was pretty okay.
Yeah, I think relative to my expectations, I'm going to give it an I loved it, just because I didn't exactly expect to be floored or to have my socks knocked right off. So it did its job. So go it.
Yeah.
I would also like to be able to answer this after it gives me the answer. But
right.
You know,
Yeah.
You know, if we all get jingle bells, then I'm going to disagree. But all right. It's asking for my email address.
Oh no, you can click the no thanks. Just send me just give me the results.
Oh yeah. I just have to watch an ad. All right. What'd you get?
Santa Baby? Which, if there is a song that I like the least, it's probably Santa Baby. There's this quiz. Can I go back and change my answer to how I like this quiz? This is horrible. Like, no. Please tell me it did better for you.
So did you read? Do you have the little thing at the bottom, the little description?
Oh, I didn't see that. It says it's Christmas time and giving is the air. I think probably in the air, which is fabulous because you're all about the spirit of generosity. You love the Christmas gift exchange tradition because giving and getting is equally fun.
Well, the description did better for you than the rest of it, I think.
Yeah, but why is Santa Baby the song
I
that
don't
goes
know.
with that?
At least it got you a little bit. So, first of all, I got Last Christmas.
Oh no, is that Mariah Carey song?
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. Something, something,
Yeah.
something, 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 something.
Is that Mariah Carey?
I don't know. Maybe. Sure. Could be.
Oh,
And here's the description. This Christmas, you're looking for love. And what better time than this romantic season to find someone special to curl up with by the fire? You may have been burned before, but this year, Santa is bound to bring someone magical into your life this holiday season.
did you take a quiz or read your horoscope? Like what just happened?
I think we can officially agree that this quiz leaves something to be desired.
It totally does. Oh, okay. All right.
All right. All right. Either that or it revealed things so deeply beneath us, like so deeply within us that we didn't even know it about ourselves.
Oh, yes. This is the most
Probably not.
profound moment of our lives. We need to really
Yeah.
contemplate the depths of these answers.
Yeah. All right. But anyway, you were going to turn to the audience. So go ahead.
I am going to turn to the audience. What song would you assign to us? Like Christmas song. It has to be Christmas.
Ooh.
But what song would you say should be Josh from Missouri's song? And which song would you say is my Josh from Oregon song? I would love to I'd love to know that. And I'm sure my wife is going to give me an answer and I'm very intrigued what that is. So, yeah.
I'm also curious to hear some of our listeners. What Christmas song would you assign to yourself? Not it's your favorite Christmas song, but it like captures who you are.
And let me know if it's Santa Baby. You know, maybe we might need to get to know each other.
Or not.
Or not. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's a thing.
That's a
but
thing. We did that.
That's a thing. All right. Josh from Oregon, what else have you been thinking about this week besides Santa Baby?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's been consuming my thoughts.
Okay, well.
No, so, I think oftentimes this is such a meaningful to me thought that it's so weird to do on the heels of that episode. But I really love, you and I do this together. We really love to study the Bible or read books about the Bible or what have you. Our Revelations series was just meaningful for both of us, and various other things that we've done along those same lines have been meaningful for us. And so I'm very familiar with that expression of the Christian life, this study and spiritual disciplines and those types of things. But then there are people that I don't know, this is probably not the right spiritual answer, but I feel like that do the real Christian stuff, like actually show up for people and impact people's lives because they just know how to love on people really well. And that's, my wife and my daughter, they do that so well. And I got to see both of them really just celebrate with this gal who just adopted her 2 baby girls and know how much that they have just behind the scenes shown up for her time and time and time again in various ways. And I have a friend that I've mentioned on the podcast that we get together and we pray for each other's families every week. And he retired early and he spends his time loving on his family and caring for them. And then whenever he is not needed there, because he's got teenagers and they do their thing, he is constantly showing up for other people, just over and over and over. He's intentionally finding ways to show up for people. And so he's got people in his life that have lost loved ones recently, and he is showing up regularly to do basic house projects or, take somebody communion or, just so many different amazing things that, again, fly completely under the radar. And I am in awe of them and their ability to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And I think sometimes I get statements like this from people. Oh, I could never be, I could never read those books, or, oh, go ahead, go do your smart people thing or whatever else. And I don't know, they almost act like, well, they could never attain that. And I look at them and I go, I could never attain your level of just goodness and care for other people. I just admire it so much. So I don't know. I'm just thinking about the kind of the multiple expressions of the Christian life.
That totally makes sense to me. Like there is something profound about folks who constantly serve behind the scenes, never get noticed, and just keep doing it. Like that is astounding.
It really is. And honestly, sometimes I feel like, oh, you're making the real difference, right? People are going to remember that forever. They're going to remember that you showed up for them. People are going to listen to our podcast and maybe 10 minutes later, they're not going to remember what we said. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about.
That's awesome. I love it.
How about you?
This is a fairly simple thought, but I have been reading the book Cruciformity, and it is an absolutely just stunning book. But it has me thinking about a question that I often have wondered about, and it is coming back to Bible translations. He defaults to, when he's not translating it himself, more often than anything else, it seems to me he defaults to the NRSV. And I have not read the NRSV in years. It's actually, I don't know that I've ever owned a copy of the NRSV.
Right.
And I am wanting to just explore it as a translation. So I just finished reading through Paul's letters, and I'm getting ready to read through them again. And I am going to read through them in the NRSV and see how that makes it a different journey. So I'm really curious about that. That's my whole thought.
I like it. I have often been tempted to do the exact thing that you're doing because the NRSV comes up a lot, especially in, I think a lot of scholars land with the NRSV, not just Michael Gorman. And so I've often really appreciated what the NRSV brings to the table. In fact, my favorite verse in Isaiah, I feel like the NRSV does the best job with it. So yeah, I am excited to hear what you learn from that.
Yeah, I'm very curious. So that's my thought, is really a question. What am I going to think about this?
Okay. Well, how about a Which Josh question while you ponder that?
Ooh, sounds good to me.
All right. Which Josh actually had socks on his wish list last year?
Ooh, and this was me. This is officially a sign, I think it's up there with getting reading glasses, that I have hit a certain age.
Did you get Centrum Silver in your stocking?
No, not last year. We'll see. Maybe this year.
Okay.
But I have come to realize that frequently gifts are one of two different kinds. There are the like new fancy things that like are exciting and interesting, but you're probably not going to use all the time. And then there are the fairly bland things in life that you're just going to use day in and day out. And honestly, I care more about having nice everyday things than I ever did in my life before. And one of those is nice socks. And so really good socks were on my Quick Christmas list last year, and I got them and I was very excited. So there, I am of a certain age.
Okay. So this episode is not going to knock your socks off because you insist on wearing them.
I do insist on wearing them because they're awesome.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go, folks. We took an internet quiz and Josh talked about his socks. So
there you go.
You're welcome.
Couldn't get any better than that.
Merry Christmas to everyone.
All right. Next week?
Next week.
All right. Talk to you then.
All right. Bye-bye.